Thanks for joining our Edulink webinar. Welcome everybody. We're pleased to speak to all of you. I'm sure some people are still joining because it's been very busy today, a lot of last minute people coming on board. But we're here to help you in these difficult times we're all living in, to discuss the options of study abroad, which is something that's becoming a very, very popular trend locally and cross-border throughout SADC region. Reasons for this, I don't have to explain why, but it's just becoming extremely popular. First of all, the study options that we're able to provide are vast. Over the years, Edulink has been sending students to study abroad for close to 14 odd years. And as we've developed more and more countries onto our portfolio, this is actually providing our students with a much bigger range to choose from, number one. Whether this be dependent upon your academic ability, because basically we will go over this and explain to you how, based on what your grades are, we are able to assist you, whether you're a top student that's battling a little bit. We've got foundation pathways that will help students get into the good universities. And we're also very pleased and delighted to say that we've got very affordable routes as well. We'll discuss that a little bit later, but this is something that we'd started working on prior COVID, and as COVID broke, we actually were able to bring in these very affordable routes, because a lot of students are going the online route now, which we hope is not going to be forever, but it does give you an excellent way to start at affordable prices and then progress. This is the big secret, is students can start at affordable rates, and there are various progression routes. So you can go from an online to a more expensive route to a highly ranked route and finish off, because the main thing is to finish off with the most acceptable degree. Obviously, most people like to finish off with top highly ranked universities, but it doesn't always mean you've got to start with a highly ranked university. We can help you to progress into it so it doesn't cost so much at the outset. But we'll discuss all this as we go along. There will be question and answer time at the end. So if you've got any questions while we unfolding this webinar, please just leave them for the end, and you can send them and we will answer all of those at the end. I think somewhere along, I'm not very technical, but there is a little chat box, so you just send your question there and it'll be answered at the end. Some of you people might have received a little book like this. Can you see it? We've got an electronic version of it. If you haven't got this book, please pop us an email. We'll send it to you, because it's a very good referral site to go through and see what is available. What we're going to be showing you now is a little bit more complex to what we got in the book, but we're going to go through every country and try and help you along the way. So my colleague now is going to start with a little PowerPoint presentation. So our youth's future awaits, which is very important for all of us. And we're going to go through country by country. I think this is a familiar thing. Yes, we can help you study abroad. I'm not going to read it all out, but you guys are there. You can read it. I think you need to go a little bit slower, Wade, so people can read it all. But you know what we find is so many students get very harassed about the study abroad because they don't know where to start. And that's where I believe we are here to help you, because we've been doing this and it's tried and trusted, and we've been doing it for so long, and we can help you over all the hurdles. So the next slide, as we said, relax, and we do not publicize university names on our website for the simple reason it's very, very confusing, because I just want to elaborate, not every student is the same, and certain universities will suit certain students, whereas they won't suit other students. And you know, it's no good deciding you want to study in Manchester because you follow the football. It might not be the right university for you. So let us know all about your academic ability and everything else, and we will really truthfully help you with the right suggestion. Little bit about us. We've been operating in the SADC region for many, many years. We help you facilitate the whole application process. We assist with all the visas, orientation help, and we even help with this with the travel as well, which is very important now these days during COVID, because you can't just book a flight online and hop onto an aeroplane. When you apply through Edulink, these are the important facts. It's all about you, the student, and most importantly, the family. So what we try and incorporate here is to make sure that we know all about you, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. Are you a keen sports player? Because in that case, we're going to get you into university that's very good in sports. Your lifestyle choice, and most importantly, the family budget. Because when we know what you are able to afford, then we can suggest accordingly. Because we've got the affordable routes as well. Why study overseas? Well, it's a great experience, number one. It's not just about the studying, it's about you are able to work while you're studying overseas, part-time. In most countries, you can work 20 hours a week during study weeks. And when it's the long holidays, you're allowed to work unlimited hours. For example, students in the UK can earn up to about £8 an hour working. That's an unskilled rate. And when you add all that up, 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week, it comes to quite a lot. And it can also help to supplement the cost of the travel, of the studying, sorry. I'm looking at the next thing, which is travel. What a lot of students love is that they're also able to travel, especially with the universities where you're able to enjoy those longer holidays. A lot of students work for first part of the holidays, save up, and then they go and travel around Europe and see the various sites. And finally succeed, because we really believe the combination of your degree, having worked overseas, traveled, seen different cultures, it's a perfect success story in the end. And in most countries, you can also stay. There's a stay behind visa where you can stay behind for 2 years and work after you've graduated. Okay, why study overseas? As you can see, higher standard of teaching. A lot of it is vocational as well, which prepares students for the workplace, giving you a competitive advantage. You're able to network with students from all over the world. As I said earlier, you're able to work part-time and just gives you a little bit of extra income. And we find that students that have studied abroad come back very confident individuals, because they've actually learned to stand on their own 2 feet, and they've met many, many friends over this period as well and come back feeling very fulfilled. This is an example of the portfolio that we have, which is, it's most countries in the world, in the Northern Hemisphere, some in the Southern, but you can read them all there and identify them from the flags. And we'll go through each country as we progress along this little webinar. There on the world map, you can also get an idea of where all the study destinations are. So literally, you've got the whole world to choose from. And obviously, not every country's prices are the same. So that is somewhere where let us guide you with it and help you with your choice. Okay, next one. I don't know if there's anybody here that's interested in medicine, but we really have got very good medicine routes, and we do get our students in. We're renowned for that. Medicine we can offer in the UK and Ireland, very expensive. Also America, also expensive. Our most popular route is probably Hungary. We send a lot of students to study medicine in Hungary. Also, we're getting a lot of students now are going to Germany to study medicine, because when you hear a little bit further along, as we come to the Germany slide, we'll give you that surprise then. But so our most popular affordable ones are Hungary and Germany, and also Malaysia. All right, we can now skip. So there you've got, much like what I've said there about the medicine, but you've got a big range to choose from. Also veterinary science, which we know is a big one in South Africa particularly. Students are always trying to get into veterinary science, and it's not easy. We work with the most, probably the oldest veterinary school in the world. It's based in Hungary, and it's an ideal place to study veterinary because it's not, you're not just going to learn about the domestic pets, but about farm animals and exotics and everything else. Very popular route as well for veterinary. We can also do veterinary in the UK, but obviously more expensive. Okay, study in the UK. I think this is an important one because I know a lot of students love the UK as a study destination, and it's also one of our favorite. We just want to explain to you the various categories of universities in the UK. You start off with your ancient elites, which are your Oxford, Cambridge, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and St Andrews, which are very ancient and renowned universities, but high entry criteria. We always suggest if you want to go to those universities, rather look at it as a postgrad, because it is also hugely expensive. Then you've got the Russell Group universities, which are renowned for their research. Let's just call out a few names there. You've got the University of Durham, which is a very strong alternative to the Oxbridge universities, which is Oxford and Cambridge. Durham is really renowned. It's got a beautiful collegiate system, and it's very much a sporting university as well. So that's one of them. Then there's Sheffield, Leeds, Manchester. Those are all the very good ones. And then you just go back a little bit. We haven't finished yet in UK. Can we go back to UK? Okay. Then we've also got the modern universities, which are popular as well. Those offer more vocational teaching. Foundation colleges, we'll discuss that in more detail, and colleges. So in the UK, all in all, there's over 200 universities, so we can help you find the right one that's going to work for you. There's also private universities where students are able to complete their honours degree in 2 years. Remember that, that's very important. In England, you can complete your honours degree in 3 years, Scotland 4 years. So I think that more or less covers the UK. We can now go on to Ireland. Ireland is becoming a more and more popular study destination. Why is that? Because first of all, you do not require a visa to study in Ireland, which you do require in most other countries. If you have a passport, a South African passport, a passport from Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, or Malawi, the visa is waived. So all it needs is you just have to have 3,000 euros in your bank account and the proof that you've got an acceptance offer and the doors open to Ireland. Particularly Dublin, and we work there very closely with Trinity College, which is on the same sort of ranking as Oxford and Cambridge. Trinity is a very, very renowned university, and basically they've got some wonderful exchange programs that are into the UK and into UK and USA to top universities. In the UK, they have exchange programs with Cambridge. And the beauty about Ireland, you will get in with art and A-levels. Now, I should have mentioned in the UK, most universities other than the ancient elites, you need A-levels. You don't need A-levels. Sorry, let me just go over that. A-levels for the ancient elites, particularly Oxford and Cambridge. The rest, you do not need A-levels. Now, Ireland as well, you do not need A-levels. And it's at the same ranking as an Oxford and Cambridge, but you can get in with your IEB and good marks. And then you can do an exchange program with Cambridge or with Brown's and other similar highly ranked universities in the US. And the beauty about this is you will be paying the Irish euro rate opposed to American rates and UK rates, which are far higher. Also, another good point to know about Ireland is that you basically, in the hub of Dublin, you're right there, all the best big multinational companies are there. And there's this great student graduation system where once you've graduated, you can go and get a job for a couple of years, which is a big plus as well. Okay, we can now move from Ireland. Okay, just a little bit more about Ireland, just to say there you can see all the big companies that are based in Dublin, which I discussed a little bit earlier. And anybody that wants more information on Ireland, we've got a huge lot of information to provide that we didn't want to put all onto this webinar tonight, but it's becoming more and more popular because of basically the fact that it is a little bit cheaper than the UK and you're getting such a high level of teaching there. Okay. Study in USA, there we can help you as well. We just do have to explain though that USA is very expensive. When we compare USA to the UK, it's nearly double the price. That's why I said Ireland is such a good option, because you can get a taste of the UK at the Irish price. But the way we work in the USA, we work through the pathway programs, which means you do not have to sit your SAT exams, because most schools, we hope, will finish their exams in December this year, and you could start in the USA on a foundation program in February, sit your SATs, and then you basically start your first year in the USA in September 2021, if you in next year's intake. So that's a little bit about the USA, and then I think we're going to go on to Canada next. Very similar to the USA, although we do try and discourage students from trying to go into Canada with an undergrad, because the visa is a very difficult visa, and it takes a long, not to say you cannot achieve it, but it takes a very long time. And what we really recommend with students is try and be diverse, and you could always start somewhere else. Canada is a great study destination for your masters, and much the same, it's a good place where you can get your permanent residence, work permits and all that, but they are more amenable to students going for masters, because then they know that you already got your first degree and there's not that difficult a problem with the visa. As we all know, Canada's a wonderful country to live in, and you know, it's on everybody's bucket list. Okay, next one, Switzerland. Okay, with Switzerland, we work a lot with the hotel schools there, if anybody's interested in that. The hotel schools are also linked to a business degree. We also work with some private universities there, particularly business schools. So there's quite a lot to offer in Switzerland, but I've got to just say to everybody, it is expensive. And if you can see at this bottom on 6 months, this is the hotel schools. You study for 6 months and you do an internship for 6 months. And then with the internship, you're obviously getting paid. So that's another plus. So Switzerland is a little story on its own, and we're happy to spend more time and discuss this with you if you are interested. Okay, now Hungary. Hungary is probably, I would say, after the UK, our next most popular destination, after UK and Ireland, I should say. Hungary, people might not realize it, but it's a wonderful, stable country, beautiful campuses, old established universities. All the teaching is in English, and it is hugely affordable. Now, for example, you can see what the cost is for a non-medical program. It's US dollars 5,000, which is very, very affordable. And we've got some wonderful videos on universities in Hungary, if you're interested, which explain a lot more about the campus and the studies available, which we'd be happy to send you if you send us an email. excellent teaching. It's also where our medicine, veterinary and piloting are popular courses. We've discussed medicine, veterinary, piloting for anybody interested. It is quite expensive, but it's a very good degree there because it's not just the piloting, but it's done with Lufthansa in conjunction with the university. And students are able to, at the same time, do an engineering degree. So, you know, once students are a little bit tired of just doing piloting, they can always fall back on the engineering degree. So it is a very popular dual degree that is done with piloting in Hungary. Okay, we can move to the next star. Finland, popular mainly for our data science. It's a very, very popular place for data science because being in Finland, they're world leaders with this program. And there's a scholarship built in as well. It's realistically priced, very safe and secure environment. I don't think I need to explain to you how beautiful Finland is, but if anybody wants to go into data science, I would really recommend we look at Finland for you. They have a totally different way of teaching. Basically, students and the actual professors, tutors, actually live on campus with the students. They interact with each other and share ideas because they realize that young people also have got great ideas. They work on projects together. So very much in the forefront with data science. Okay, our next one is Germany. Okay, Germany, guys, very, very popular. I said I'd tell you this little secret about Germany when we got to it. University tuition fee is not charged in Germany. So in other words, your actual studies are totally free at all good state universities in Germany, not at private universities. All in all, there's about 300 plus universities in Germany. But the big catch here is it's all taught in German. But that needn't be anything to really hinder. We're getting a lot of students going, even doing medicine now in Germany, because they realize the medicine is so great there, the teaching is so good. And we work with a language school that has been around for many, many years, and they're renowned for their pathway into the university. So what they do is they start teaching students German. You can do it in little bite sizes. We've even got some grade 11s that are already starting on these small bite-size German lessons. They do it in their own time online, and by the time they finish matric, they were almost fluent in German. So but you can start later. You don't have to start in grade 11 because all that work is done online. Then when you've completed your schooling, you then go over to Germany for a 3 to 5 months very intense course. At the language school, and at that same time they organize your progression into the university that is going to be best for whatever degree you want to study. And so it's a complex process. We have to we spend quite a lot of time on the actual application in Germany because it's allowing a student virtually anything between a 3 to 6 year free education. Plus, you've got all your free health costs as well. Hospitals are included, so you don't pay. Much the same, I should have said, in the UK and Ireland, you don't pay for most countries for healthcare. So the visa process is long and takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. But anybody interested, please contact our offices and we'll go through it with you. And what we suggest with Germany is the sooner you start your German classes, even if it's just for, you know, a few hours a week, it's going to help you to get more fluent. So that by the time you reach a university in German, you're actually thinking in German as well, and it's so much easier to manage the study process. Okay, so that's German. Just to give you, we do have other countries that we work with, so there are a few of them there. So we're very active in Europe, and then we can go to our next slide now. Okay, for those looking for affordable routes, which we call it our soft landing, is actually the Mediterranean. Basically, we work with a number of really beautiful universities in North Cyprus, some in South Cyprus as well, but mainly North Cyprus. Those are the ones that have the most superb universities and infrastructure, hugely affordable. All in all, for students going to North Cyprus, it would cost for a year, even including the airfare. Airfares don't go up too much over COVID, but it's around about just under 100,000 Rand per year. That is your tuition, your living expenses, including accommodation, amazing accommodation, 3-star, 4-star hotel type. We've also got a lovely video on Cyprus if you want us to send that to you. So your tuition, your accommodation, 3 meals a day, health insurance, free local transport, plus your airfare comes in at, should be under 100,000, depending on exchange rates. Don't hold us at that. The last time we calculated was about 97,000. So this is really a very popular destination. We're going to talk about COVID at the end because I think it's important you all know what contingency plans are in place. Okay, the next one we can go to. Okay, that's a little bit more about North Cyprus, but as you can see, all in English, European culture, healthy climate, realistic visa. There's 2 intakes a year there as well. We have a February and a September, which I should have mentioned with other universities. It's mainly just a September intake throughout the world, but you do have 2 intakes in Cyprus. Okay, next slide. Thailand, mainly popular for commercial piloting, again, nursing, dentistry, you can see there if you're interested. But it's a little bit more expensive than North Cyprus, hence the reason Cyprus is the popular one. Okay, we've got Australia as well. We can help you throughout Australia. Full range of colleges, universities, pathway options as well, which we'll explain in more detail. And we can also help students that really want to go to Australia, but they find it is expensive, because it is quite expensive. They can do the Australian degree in Mauritius at literally a quarter of the price, and they still come out with the same Australian degree. So bear that in mind, and we can discuss that in more detail. New Zealand, very similar to Australia. We can assist you in that sense as well. And then after this, I want to go to Malaysia, because we don't have a slide yet on Malaysia. Or let's just do Mauritius. Okay, Mauritius, there you can see there's a lot of pathways through Malaysian universities into UK and Australian universities that bring the price down tremendously. And this is what I was saying in the beginning. You know, as Edulink, we've done a huge amount of research and development over the years, because we've realized that not everybody can afford UK, American, Australian universities. There are ways to get into these universities via progression routes. Here's a typical example: Mauritius into UK and Australian universities. Cyprus also. From Cyprus, you can go into great progression routes. You can have a lovely, we call it the soft landing of Cyprus. Our students love it because it's like being on holiday in the Mediterranean. And when you've got year 3, you can progress, go and complete your degree in Mauritius, at least in the UK, Ireland, wherever. So we work with you and literally tailor make a study destination that's going to suit you, depending on your program choice, lifestyle choice, and most importantly, the budget. Okay, I think next was, we don't have a slide. If I can just, okay, let me go on to Malaysia here. We haven't got the slide for Malaysia. It's got to be organized pretty soon. But Malaysia is for anybody that is really battling budget-wise. we've come up with an incredible deal on online studies. Because of COVID, it is an internationally accredited university based in Malaysia. And if I have to tell you what it is costing for online studies for a year, I don't think you're going to believe me. But we really, myself and the Vice Chancellor, we worked very hard at this. We started discussions 3 years ago. He came out to us to South Africa in January to set up. He was hoping to set up a campus here, but you know, COVID has been a little bit of a obstacle in the way, but it will happen eventually. But they're already doing all their online programs for students. That a lot of our students that were going to go now in September to North Cyprus and other destinations, parents felt they should rather stay back and do it online, even though they could do it with the particular country involved. A lot of them are doing it now through Malaysia, and they'll do a year with Malaysia online, and from Malaysia they will then choose to go wherever they want to. They can stay with Malaysian universities and even complete their degree there. But a lot of them want other destinations. Now, the Malaysia university for your per year, the tuition fee is 20,000 Rand. Yes, you heard that right, 20,000 Rand. This is because we've actually built in a huge scholarship, and the Vice Chancellor is very forward thinking, and he believes that education should go to the masses, especially at a higher education level. And they have paid for all their costs of their material. They've been doing online for years and years. So they are able to offer education at that price. And it's very good education as well. It's, as I said, internationally accredited. So this is there for people that want to start looking at doing Malaysia. You can do most of the degrees there. They've even got a medicine degree. They've got pharmacy, nursing, engineering, business, psychology. You know, contact us and we'll give you all the details of Malaysia. But this is why I said what we do really have the solution to tertiary studies, all in a safe and secure environment in spite of COVID. We will help you to work what is the best study destination for your child, whether this be online to start off with or going abroad to study on campus. What all universities, I think we need to speak about COVID now. What has happened when COVID hit earlier this year? All our students that were studying abroad, whether they were in Ireland or Trinity College, or they were in Cyprus or Germany or Hungary or any of these countries, they transitioned immediately to online learning because they had that contingency plan in place. Students were then able to decide, do they want to stay in the country and complete their degree in country or fly back home before the borders closed. I would say 30% came back. They came back and were very successful in being able to finish their degrees online at home, even doing exams at home online. A lot of them have gone back in the last week or so. And so the plan is in place. It's a hybrid system that all these universities work with, which sadly our South African universities are not up to speed with yet, but it's a high-tech system. They all have it online, moving to blended learning and then onto on campus. It's all safe and secure. And to just update you on what is happening with the cohort that have gone out now, we work very closely with TourVest, which is a huge travel company, and they've been doing all our travel for us. And the students that have wanted to go off have been able to get onto repatriation flights. They just go into quarantine when they arrive, and obviously everything is well organized. There's meet and greet at the airport, and the students are assisted. Other students are doing everything online. Everything is up. No academic time has been lost at all. Not one day of academic time is lost at any of our universities. So I think that tells you where we are As far as COVID is concerned, there is no concern. You can study as long as you want online. Some programs, it's not that possible because you've got lab work to do, but we will discuss with you on a case-by-case basis. All right, now we go to foundation courses, very important, because not every student is able to get into their university of choice, and a lot of them have, you know, their aspirations to get into, particularly in countries like the UK, America, Canada, and Australia, to get into top highly ranked universities. If their marks are not that great for grade 12, they can go via a foundation pathway. And there's two ways that they can work this. They can do a foundation pathway, which will take a year. They start in September, at least in January. They will run through to September, and then they can start in year 1. So they still haven't really lost anything. They've just contributed by putting those first months of the year towards getting that foundation program completed. There's also what is called International Year 1. International Year 1 is, to me, the better option, because International Year 1, you start in the September when all the main universities start. So you don't have to start in February, or you can start in February if you wish to and just run a longer course. But all it is, it's you, instead of going into a large lecture hall for the first year, you will be in a smaller group, much like school, maybe a group of 15 to 20 students, and so you've got much more help. And from your first International Year 1, you will progress into your year 2. So you're not losing any time. You're just getting a good solid base for your first year, which takes into account that you're going to be having to adapt from school to university life, a new culture, new lifestyle, and all that. But we will guide you as well. A lot of students take the foundation routes when they want to get into the top universities, and their grades aren't quite going to make it, and this is how we manage that. Okay, the next slide. All right, for our postgrad students, you know, we've got lots of very, very incredible offers. You know, locally in South Africa, you have to, it's, I think, 4 years to do an honours degree. You can, with your bachelor's degree, you can skip your honours and do a pre-master's and go straight into your master's degree. A master's degree, particularly in the UK, is only 1 year opposed to 2 years. And so there's a lot of, you know, options we can give you on postgrad as well, where we can help you to save time, to complete your degrees faster. Anybody wanting to do a very quick degree, we've got one university in the UK. If you're starting off as an undergrad, as I said, you can do 2 years, get your honours degree there. Then you go and do your master's degree. You've finished, you've got your master's degree in 3 years. But for those students wanting to join from existing South African universities, we will help you get into your master's, often without having to do your honours degree. And anybody coming in after year 1 or 2, you'll get credits, and we'll help you to get in as to whichever side you can get into as quickly as possible. Okay, and then the next one. Not sure what you wish to study. This is particularly a lot of the case with grade 11 students and even the grade 9s. We do not have our own psychometric counselor here, but we work in close association with some of the best psychometric people. So basically, we can help you to get that testing done, which is very important, so that the student knows what they wish to study and, you know, not make a mistake and start studying the wrong program. Okay, summer school, we won't worry about that now because we've passed the summer and there was no summer school this year. Other services we offer, it's quick response time with your application, personal attention, you're not a number. We make the whole process user-friendly. We assist you with your visas, which is very important, and we've got people that have worked for us for over 8 to 10 years that have been doing our visas, and we get our visas through, because the worst thing is to get a visa decline. Free consultation. It's a huge decision that any family is going to make, so we invite you to please email us on mail@int-edulink.co.za, and we will get back to you and organize a free consult so that we can help to make the right study choice for your child. An orientation prior to departure. We can help you with Forex arrangements, bank accounts overseas, SIM cards, all those sort of things if you require it. And what we can safely say before we just go on to this one is that we guarantee every student that comes to us, we will get you an application. It's not the case of programs are going to be full, because we have so many study options to offer that you would be able to, we'll find you, as long as you've passed your grade 11, let me even say your grade 11, we will get you into a university, because if you cannot get in, normally we get you in through a foundation pathway. And obviously we want you to try and complete your grade 12, because that's going to count as a lot extra. But we are able to help every student get in through our pathway routes. Let's see what else there is. Anybody wanting to be a study abroad ambassador, somebody at your, if you want to share this news with your school friends, let us know. We'll help you with that and give you more information. Okay. And there, the wonderful words of Nelson Mandela: education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And we want to provide you with the best solutions that we can. And for more information, there are all our details. Please get a hold of us if you want any further assistance. We're happy to assist you. And now we can go, I think, to the questions and answers. Are there any questions, Wade? Hello?
Sorry, my microphone is muted there. Some questions have come through about the English proficiency. Students are asking if they have to do the TOEFLs or IELTS to get into the universities.
Yes, you do, particularly for the UK universities. And Ireland. I know it's a bit of an issue because you have to get these English tests done through British Council, and they're very slow now because of COVID. But we have got a few other options now that our admissions department can tell you about. I think just if, you need to first apply, and then, application is the first process. And then after that, our admissions department will tell you tick by tick what has to be done. But, ideally, it's normally British Council, but admittedly, it is a problem at the moment. But I think, we're getting to the end of COVID and things are starting, we can feel things are starting to ease up a little, but it has been very difficult over the last 4 to 5 months because most people have been working remotely. But that's where it's good. We will help you. Also, what's important to know is that when an application goes into a good university through a company like ours, they know that we've vetted everything, and your chances of getting in are a lot better, and your application will be handled a lot quicker as well. We are a UCAS centre for the UCAS applications, and that allows you to apply to 5 universities at once. Any other questions, Wade?
The questions come through about Spain. Someone wanted to know, is there any more information about studying in Spain?
Yeah, actually, that was a good question, because was something that we didn't mention is global rotation. Global rotation is huge, and we've got a couple of universities that work on global rotation whereby they allow you to spend a semester or a year in different countries. And Spain is one of them. So you could do 1 year in Spain, 1 year in Germany, 1 year in Switzerland. And then we have other global progressions that are New York, Boston, San Francisco, London, Paris, Shanghai. There's so many options, guys. You must come and speak to us. But with Spain, the universities we work with there are private ones because they are taught in English. Okay. Any more?
What is the price range in Canada?
Canada is, I'm just going to have a look now. It's much like the US. It's quite expensive, I've got to tell you.
There wouldn't be, so just, I think I can remember, there wouldn't be anything less than about 20,000 Canadian dollars.
20,000, 700 US dollars or Canadian dollars. And then you've got your living expenses, which are about $11,000.
Yeah, that's for Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
but
the next.
Canada's better for postgrad. Try and remember what I said. You don't have to do your whole undergrad at an expensive destination.
Okay.
It'll give you diversity if you start in another country and then finish off there.
Okay. The next question is from Lena. She's asking, what are the service fees?
Okay, that's what we were going to get on to now, service, all the fees at work. Okay, first of all, when you apply through Edulink, there is an application fee, which is 1950. We have to charge this because basically we're a private company. We've got to pay all our own expenses. And what this does is this helps us to assess your application when it comes in. Applications can come in via our website and basically you can pay it with a Visa or MasterCard or even EFT. We are running a special now, which we always do because of our webinar. We'll bring it down to 1,500 for applications coming in now for the next week. It's always 7 days, and the promo code is online, all in capitals, one word. And we've used the word online because online is such a popular word at the moment with COVID. So that is our application fee. When your application comes in, it goes to our admissions department, they assess it, and then we normally contact you and suggest, if we haven't already had one, a free consult via virtual meeting, wherever you are. And then we'll explain to you the various options that we want to provide you to choose where you want to study. You will then decide maybe, okay, I want to study in the UK, then we'll give you 5 options. You might want to study in Germany, you might want to study in Malaysia, you might want to study wherever. Then there is a cost that comes in. Our consultants then have to open a file for you. There's a huge amount of interaction between yourself, us and the universities. By the time a student normally leaves to go overseas, the file is pretty thick. What we do in that, the service fee covers, first of all, getting your application off. Some universities, we have to pay a fee to them. They charge a fee. Like, for example, UCAS, you have to pay. A lot of the better universities, you have to pay a fee. That covers your fee. So we don't have to come back and ask you a fee for this, fee for that. It's all built in. It also covers the visa, which is a laborious task as well. So it's all the visa preparation. And more so now with COVID, the travel, which is another big issue, to get you all sorted on your travel. We're normally able to help you with extra baggage as well, up to 40 kgs. And it's the orientation, the meet and greet when you get there, helping you book your student accommodation. All of that comes into the service fee. Now, every country has a different service fee. And this is because each country requires a different amount of time. For example, like North Cyprus doesn't take so much time. So that service fee is 6,000. Malaysia, there is no service fee at all because it's all online. Then when you go to the UK, it's 9,800. Germany, which is a favorite because it's free. That is the most expensive one because there's a huge amount of work that goes into that. Because of the fact that you're getting actually free tuition, a lot of work has to get done between us and our partners in Germany, and that is basically, it costs 15,000 for the German one. Hungary for medicine is 12.5. So, you need to speak to your consultant or email us and we will tell you what the service fee is. But it ranges from 0 with Malaysia up to the maximum is 15,000, depending on where you wish to study. Next question.
Okay, there's quite a few questions about when is the best time to apply. So one person's asking, is grade 10 too early to apply? Can we apply in grade 11?
Grade 11, you can apply.
Also, when is the application closing date for grade 12? So when is the earliest and the latest to apply?
Okay. All right. Grade 10 is a little bit early, guys, unless you want to go and do a foundation. We've even got some people that want to send their children to go and do a boarding school for a year overseas. We can help you with that as well. But you normally have to have 12 years of school before you will get into a university. So now to overcome that, you grade 10 or 11, you add on then the foundation pathway time to bring it to 12. If you are in grade 11, I suggest it's time you should be applying. Grade 10, only if you want to do a foundation. If it's grade 11, it's good to apply now because next year with grade 12, you don't want to be having to worry about, will I get into a university, won't I? And we've seen it from particularly last year. A lot of our students applied early and they were so relieved because basically this year they've been able to concentrate on their studies because they've got their offers. Also, particularly for medicine and veterinary, it's very important you apply in grade 11 because you have to do entry exams. And this also takes a little bit of time. However, if you are in grade 12, we will see what we can do. So it is important. Grade 12s, any grade 12s you haven't applied yet, obviously we'll do our best to help you, but it is critically important that you apply as soon as possible so that you're not in a rush. It really depends on the country that you're going to, but rule of thumb is grade 11. We suggest you apply now. Grade 12s, please apply yesterday and we'll do some emergency work. Grade 10s, if you're going to go a foundation route. I think if that answers the question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The next question is about Hungary. What is the cost of studying medicine in Hungary?
Cost of medicine in Hungary is $16,000 a year. And what happens with Hungary, you're basically going to be asked to do an entrance exam as well. And that will determine, we assess before we even ask you to do the entrance exam if you're going to get in. We can tell from your marks. And then when we submit, we know that that's all sorted. And then basically they will come back and suggest the entrance exam. The entrance exam is to determine whether your marks are enough for you to get into year 1, which will start in September, or you would need to do a pre-med, which starts in January. So particularly for students, that's why, your grade 11s need to start working on this now, because it's already late for grade 12s because of that start in January because of visas and everything else. But that is the cost. It's $16,000 for the tuition fees, and then the pre-med is half of that. Living expenses, Hungary is known to be one of the most affordable countries in Europe for living expenses. And anybody that's interested in Hungary, please send us an email or go onto our website, send us a message. Sorry, our web was down. We had a technical hitch this morning, but it's all sorted. Please just ask us to send you all the details for Hungary. And basically, especially if you're wanting to do medicine, we will also send you the video. It's an amazing video. Watch the video. It'll give you everything you need to know about Hungary. Okay.
And just going back to Spain, we have another question about Spain, and just to let everyone know, we have about 5 minutes left, so this is your chance to put your questions in before we finish off this webinar. So someone asked about Spain. They say they can speak Spanish. Are there any public universities where they can study at?
We don't, I'll be honest, we don't have any on our portfolio. But if you give us an idea of, if you know of a university that you want to go to, we're happy to assist you, because you'll need all the support to get there. But unfortunately, we found that most students only want to go to universities where they can be taught in English, other than Germany, because it's free. But we're happy to assist you. Just send us an inquiry and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Another question, do you apply with senior certificate marks or with IEB marks?
You can apply with both. The only time where you need A levels is for medicine in the UK and for Oxbridge universities, which is Oxford and Cambridge. Anywhere else you do not need A levels. You can apply with your senior certificate or your IEB.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, I think that covers all the questions.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. I know it's late, and we tried to do it at 6 because that is a popular time people requested, so parents are home from work. Any other questions, please, as I said, pop us an email on mail@edulink.co.za and or through our website, and we'll be happy to get back to you. And as I said, we would like to do free consults with you because we believe it's a huge move that anybody's going to make to study abroad. So you need to get it right the first time, and we'll obviously help you with the right progression and route that will help to work for you. Thanks once again, and we look forward to hearing from you. And thanks to all the Clifton School, because there's been so many emails and phone calls today. I don't know why it got left late, but thank you and welcome for coming on board. We're delighted to be helping you all. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.